So, Steve is on his way over. He's been raising pigs his whole life, and he's going to show me how to castrate our boys. We got River and Sky.
Helpers are always good.
Yeah.
Dad, here's
so,
and you guys are going to want a fry pan. You want to eat them right fresh?
Do you want to eat the pig balls?
Right fresh? Or
No.
I want to keep them.
You want to keep them?
Put them in a jar in your closet, in your room?
No.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. We went from owning our own urban fashion line in downtown Seattle to leaving it all and buying 10 acres of land and a barn in northern Idaho with our parents, who sold their home of 40 years. All with a vision of refashioning our lives, centered around simplifying and slowing down, reconnecting to source. This is our journey. This is Homestead Fashioned. Okay, my project for today is I'm gonna make a little chicken tractor. We got our meat birds and we want to be able to move them around on the property so they're eating grass and bugs and things, and fertilizing the property as they do it. So it's like a win-win. Yeah, so we want to be able to move these chickens around. So we're gonna make a little chicken tractor. We got 20 chickens we're going to put in there. I'll call it a animal tractor because we don't have chickens in there. We want to be able to put the bunnies in there so that we can move them around the property as well. So the more they're eating grass and bugs, the less we're having to pay for feed. So it's just a win all around. So it's going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot tall, and a couple wheels on it, and chicken wire. And so got my chicken wire, 2x4s. I'm gonna throw this together, and animal tractor. So here's our chicken tractor that we built. Yokohamas, they're so pretty. And these are not so pretty because we're gonna eat them. To the chicken tractor. Well done. Summarize for me this last year and how it's gone for you.
Wow, summarize this last year. It's been a growing year. You know, I've been here a year and a half, and living in the comfortableness, if that's a word, the comfortableness of the Seattle area, and just moving out here and just adjusting to country life.
So you've gotten a lot of projects done, obviously. What's the next big project you're excited to do?
The next big project?
Yeah.
Probably finishing up the interior sheetrock, getting all of the interior walls sheetrocked and taped and painted, just finishing up the inside.
That'll make a big difference.
That, and probably the ceiling, getting that insulated, and getting the fence board stained and put on that will make a big difference too. So
putting all that up so far, how has that gone for you? How was that? Scary, fun? How is putting all that up?
It's been fun. It's been somewhat a little bit scary. I'm not as agile and nimble as I used to be, so it's been a little bit scary from time to time. But yeah, I think it's going up okay. Yeah, it's probably a little over halfway done now, but you know, it's a matter of you know, actually painting the insulation. We discovered worked a lot better than you know, letting that silver show through, but just getting the insulation put in and then getting the board stained and put in place. It's like you know, the easiest part of it is done. You know, probably the most difficult part now is going to be that's, you know, out in the area that's not covered by the loft. So you know, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
How come?
Because it's a long ways up there. You know, we're going to have to figure out a way to either get scaffolding or get a big ladder or something, you know. So again, it's, you know, like I said, it's a long ways up there, and I'm not interested in falling to my death.
That's a kind of a cool fan. I like it. It's pretty. About that?
What did the light button push the heat down?
We don't have a
light on it.
I don't know.
And that button above the light, don't press that.
This?
Just all you do is off 1, 2, and 3.
What's
the gray
this?
buttons are the only ones you touch.
What does this do?
That reverses it, but you don't want to reverse it. So the only buttons you touch are the on-off button or 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So just, you know, just press the 3 and release it. 3.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool, River. Yeah.
And when 3 is whipping at its full speed, you can actually feel it down there.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I already feel it.
Can you feel it?
Oh yeah. But it's not warm air. I got goosies. It's not pushing warm air down here.
Mommy.
That's awesome. That'll help during the summer too.
Mommy.
Yay! Thank you, Dad.
And
Yeah.
Papa.
Hey, go, Papa.
Go, Dad and
And
Papa.
that's your rubber today now.
Be on that.
Just be on that ladder.
So I just wanted you to take a second and sort of recap this last year for me. What's been a high, a low? Tell me how this last year has gone for you.
Well, it has been a lot of highs and lows. I mean, just learning to navigate the weather here. Winters are definitely been a bit of a challenge, I'll have to say. So that's been a little bit challenging, and the other challenge for me has been being away from family. I miss, you know, being able to get together with family on a more regular basis. But I'll have to say that the good outweighs the bad here. I love it here, and just being able to slow down and learn how to manage life in a slower pace has been awesome. Just realizing being in the city, and every time I go back to visit, I'm like, I don't know how I lived in all this chaos. Just the busyness of life that happens in the city, and I don't miss that at all. In fact, when I come back home, it's like, oh, I feel like I can breathe again and enjoy the day-to-day of managing the home and cooking, and realizing that you can spend a little bit of effort and home make everything. You don't have to run to the grocery store for every little thing you need, that it can be made from scratch and taste better and be better for you. So that's been a high for me, is learning that process of baking your own bread and your own tortillas and sauce mixes and making yogurt. You know, those kinds of things have been so fulfilling in doing that. So I love that. I've loved the garden, had some success and fails in the garden, but you know, as I talk to many people around this area, it's kind of par for the course. So we're on a high learning curve there. But yeah, those are some of the highs and lows.
So kind of summarize the experience so far of the last year and a half here for you.
I think that overall it's been good. It's been change. Good with challenge is, I guess, the best way I can put it. I love Idaho. It's beautiful. Summers are amazing, and we've really met a lot of great people. I love the friendships that we've developed and the community that we've built, even though after a year and a half, we've had to, like, homeschool-wise, we've had to kind of like build community in two separate places because we're kind of so far out from the city. There's just a lot going on, I think, the first year where I didn't really have a chance to kind of settle into, all right, this is life in Idaho. This is life on a homestead. And I think if I look at the whole year and a half, I guess the biggest thing is that I'm starting to see the slowdown, just how the pace of life, homesteading, and living further out from the city, it's a big change. And so that has come for me with a lot of mental shifts, but it also has come, you know, looking back, I can see that it's bringing a lot of the things that I hoped for our family and for our kids, in a roundabout way, and in the sense of all the stuff, all the doing, all the busyness. We're starting to see that slow down and being able to kind of settle into the rhythms of what we have here, what we're growing here. When you're in the city, I think we got so used to just like pop into the store whenever I mean, we were right downtown a lot of the years that we were over there too, but just like anything you need, instead of making it, just go buy it, you know. And I think that we're getting into more of a place of understanding that we can make a lot of the things that we usually buy. I mean, I'm talking simple things like, you know, dishwasher tablets or mayonnaise, or you run out of ketchup and it's like, oh, well, let's make some ketchup. Or you run out of Worcestershire sauce, and instead of figuring out, do we want to drive an hour or half an hour to the store, what do we have in the cupboards that we can make it with? So I guess resourcefulness is one thing. But the other thing is just that sometimes we ask for things, and in the midst of those things coming to fruition, like our heart's desires or our prayers, sometimes the things we want come through struggle. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I am, you know, in the middle of in this particular season of our being here, is just realizing that the struggle and the challenges bring and build character. That's a depth of who we are that I want for our family, for our kids. Even when things are hard, what do we have that we really are thankful for, that we really ought to be thankful for? I think so. It's so easy to take stuff for granted until you have to need the things that you have and you realize, wow, you know, at least we have this. Just that sense of gratitude for what you do have, and the strength that is built between each other when you're struggling through bringing goals and dreams and visions to fruition, even when it's not here yet. So it takes work, and it takes grit, and it takes togetherness, and through those struggles there is unity. There is something that is very bonding that happens, and I'm thankful for that. So yeah.
So in about 30 minutes here, my neighbor is headed over, and he's going to show me, help me demonstrate how to castrate our piglets. And I know it's a little intimidating, at least it's intimidating for me, but apparently there's a lot of reasons for doing that. The first being obviously the most obvious reason, and second is that the male pigs will go into heat, and this will cause their meat to taste off if you don't castrate them. You can time it up and process them when they're not in heat, but if you want to just dumb it down and make it easy, you castrate them. It's simple and easy, and you don't got to worry about that. So Steve is on his way over. He's been raising pigs his whole life, and he's going to show me how to castrate our boys so that we have some delicious pork to eat here in about 4 months or so. So let's get into pig castration. Steve,
Yeah.
already filming. We're going, we're live.
We're live.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me we were going to go live.
Yeah. Well, we're not live, but we're filming. Okay, so tell me, what are we doing today?
We're going to castrate some pigs.
We're going to castrate pigs. And you have been raising pigs pretty much your whole life, is that correct?
Off and on, yes.
Yes. And so what is the reason for castrating a pig?
Well,
Other than the obvious.
There's some aggression.
Yeah.
There's some breeding issues.
Okay.
There's also for the food quality, where you basically don't want the testosterone of the pig coursing through its veins.
And that's the main reason we're doing this, right?
Correct.
We don't want the meat to taste off.
Correct.
And you can, is that right? You can time it up, but it's easier to just do this.
Right. And
Yeah.
do it when they're younger.
Yep.
Dad, what is a blue
It sounds a little traumatic, but it really isn't.
It's not. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
And so you told me a funny story about how in high school, this was your high school presentation, is that right? Can you tell me that story?
Speech class, we had to do a how-to, and I wondered what I was going to do, and finally I was castrating pigs the weekend before, and I don't remember if I came up with it or somebody said, well, you should do that for your how-to class, or your how-to speech. So I did, and went pretty well. Lost most of the girls, half of the class, including the teacher, but I did get an A.
You did get an A.
I did get an A.
That's what counts, right?
Hi.
And kids ready to castrate pigs.
Perfect.
Sparrow's in the house. She doesn't want to have anything to do with it, but
Is
we
that
got River and Sky.
Helpers are always good.
Yeah.
Dad, here's
So,
And you guys are going to want a fry pan. You want to eat them right fresh?
do you want to eat the pig balls?
Right fresh? Or you
No.
I wanna keep them.
You want to keep them?
Put them in a jar in your closet, in your room?
No.
Okay.
Like, I wanna keep the pigs.
Well, you got to keep the pigs.
Okay. All right. Should we get into this?
We should.
I'm excited. Kind of also like nervous a little bit too.
Don't be nervous.
I'm still bored.
No, babe, turn the body towards Steve.
Remember that old game, Operation You're the Doctor?
Glory, come. Who let Glory out? Take Glory back in, please. Glory, come.
You're fine, buddy. Yeah, next one.
Wow, okay.
Just try him like that.
Okay.
See how he screams a lot less?
I feel like I should be comforting him now.
No, no, I don't want to be comforted.
making some cinnamon swirl bread.
Add a lot of cinnamon.
Add a lot, huh?
Yeah. That's so small. Is that going to turn into bread?
It is going to turn into bread. It's going to puff up. And yeast in it.
Like what makes it puff up?
The yeast.
Watching you slide it on.
What?
It's mesmerizing watching you slide it on.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Get as much as you can on it.
Okay. There's sugar and cinnamon. Okay.
It smells like heaven.
Okay, so today is tree stand day. I'm gonna build a tree stand. We see deer all over our property. I put some trail cams out. Every time I check them, just gets boring seeing all the deer. They're all does right now that I've seen, but our neighbor has told me that once October hits, we start seeing huge bucks coming onto our property. So that's in a few weeks, so I want to prepare for that and hopefully harvest a couple big old bucks. I wore my buck shirt today in honor of preparation. I've never hunted anything bigger than turkey before, so this will be the first time hopefully that I get to harvest some deer. I've chosen this spot, which is a big clearing down here in the bottom of our property. You can see back here, all this grass is smashed down. They're having deer dance parties down here. That's a boat that was left from the previous owner. Deer poop, deer everywhere down here. So I'm gonna put the tree stand, I think, up in this tree section of trees here, which kind of overlook this big clearing here. But that's gonna be today's project. Should be fun. And let's get into it. The plan is to use these two trees here, right up about there. And that looks out right over this valley here. So that should be a cool spot for this. And also looks out, I don't know if you can see, out in this direction here. And it looks up the hill, which there are some game trails up there. So I should be able to have a pretty good vantage point. So here we are. The platform is almost done. You can see up here. My hands are covered in sap. But the platform's almost done. It looks amazing and feels secure. I'm gonna start nailing down boards in a second here. Yeah, that's where we stand right now. Whoa, look at that. I just stood on my deer stand for the first time. It's not all the way screwed in, but it is holding me for now. If I fall, you all will be a witness. But look at that, like 20 feet off the ground, standing on a thing I built. It's freaking amazing. I'm gonna screw the rest of these boards in, and my hands, geez, I am paying the price. There it is. You know, I'll do a little work here, obviously, and make it all nice and pretty. But look at that. Killing deer out there. I'll take these limbs down so there's a nice view. But, man, might have to sleep up here. It's kind of amazing. Up our view. We can see the whole valley down there for hunting animals.
Oh, only one at a time.
Can you guys handle this?
No, I can't. Can you help me from here?
You got to keep going. Here we are. This is my assistant today.
We're going on a date today with my daddy.
Yep, we're having a daddy-daughter day.
Yes.
So we are working on the tree stand today. Yeah, and there's the view.
You can see some trees that got cut down, and the three thingies.
We're still working on the railing situation, but it's getting there. Go. So this is what you call literal blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, I got all this corn down here ready to pick. Look at all this. Big old ears of corn that are all ready to go. Look at that. Eat the heck out of that. For that, we had a ear of corn. I mean, look at my hand next to it. It's huge. Big as my arm. Come here. Come here. There. Whoa, are these from our garden? Let me see one of those. Holy badolies. That's from our garden? Let me see that. Wow, those are beautiful.
And heavy.
Beautiful.
And good for carving.
Oh, yeah? What are you building here, Dad?
What's that?
What are you building?
Putting up a wood shed.
Wood shed.
Put the wood away for the winter.
No more wood on the deck.
No more wood on the deck. Be in here.
Good job, girl. Getting wood. Backing the truck up, loading all this up into the truck.
Okay. Grab it. Keep it up, Rubber. Keep it up. Keep your work up. Enough.
You can do it. Show me your muscles. Good job. And there we have delivery to the wood chopping area and work smarter, not harder, right? Figuring this out.
I think you could bring that one back out. That's pretty big. This is heavy.
Abram just showed up with about a cord and a half of wood for us. So we are going to eat dinner tonight. But first we're going to unload some wood.
Your size. There you go. You ready?
Pretty cool, right?
That could go in the woodshed.
That's your size. You got it?
Oh, chunk, ain't it? You just almost hit me. Don't. Put them
Careful, guys.
Put
Be
them
careful.
down carefully. I didn't. Look out tonight.
Like,
When the water. Kenzie, tuck it down. Get the play before it's in.
Thank you, John Iron.
I take two at a time. Did you see me? I take two at a time.
Thank you, Abram.
Yes, brother.
What can I do?
That's just what our folk does for one another.
Let's go eat some burgers.
Definitely. I think we've earned it.
Thank you.
Of course.
See this house right here? 2 years ago, Abram and his family were living in a 5-bedroom house in the suburbs when he started asking a question. Do I want to see my life play out this way? And I think we can all relate on some level. We can play that whole script out. It probably involves a vacation once a year to Disneyland and ends around 80 with very little risk involved, having never maybe pursued anything extraordinary in our lives. They ended up selling everything and they bought 10 acres of land with a dream of something different for their lives and for their family. And they've been living in a camper for 2 years while they're building this dream. And Abram was saying, man, this camper is feeling tight. I can feel these walls closing in every day. Steve and Darcy that you saw earlier in this video who helped me castrate the pigs, they have a very similar story. And our paths have all been very similar. Coming to a place where we find ourselves asking the same question. Is momentary discomfort worth what that vision for something different for our lives looks like in the end? And we've all had the same answer. In the end, 2 years, 3 years, like whatever it takes, barely will seem like a blip on the radar. In fact, we might almost look back on that with good memories of a time of character building, sort of choosing that road less traveled. Yeah, and Robert Frost kind of put it perfectly when he said, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And being one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as long as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.
You made that look really good.
Okay. How's that hamburger?
No, I don't need one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know he
How
likes
is that?
kale too. So this is a kale.
Can you taste that liver and heart in there?
Very blonde.
No.
No? Can't even taste it.
Can't taste it at all.
No.
I forgot it was in there. The liver.
Oh yeah, we mixed that into all the meat. It's so good
So
for
good.
you. Can you
And it's so good for you.
Just look at that.
We've been eating it for all of our.
I love that sauce too. And
Do I need some?
the burger meat is so
Yeah, the best moments.
Yeah.
Like,
That too.
Like, I don't know, it's like we were talking about earlier. They look
Some more
at
cheese.
this vacation. They talk about this vacation and they like, this is
Want
what it means so
some more
much.
cheese?
And I'm like, man, it just, that's
I
not
want
really
some
how
more
you
cheese.
It's like how you greet each other every day. You know, how your children say please when you ask them to do something.
yeah.
That's where the value is. It's not like that once a year vacation, you know, or that like
Right.
few
it's half
weekend.
the time.
But that becomes such a goal because everybody else around you is doing that, and you feel like, man, we're missing the beach and the. I mean, I've definitely felt that. Like everybody's doing this. It's the little moments every day. It's the little everydays that really add up to the everything.
Yeah. Your life is what's every day.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes your life. It's not that one thing that happened once a year or once a month. It's what happens every day.
Yeah.
That's what your life is really comprised of. And when you look back, that's what's mattered. That's what you have to get right.
Yeah. But even when you're in the thick of it, it takes that reminder to be like, okay, even in my stress, am I kind? Even in my stress, am I communicating love? to the people that are closest to me, because often it's people that are closest to us that are hurt the most because they
Isn't
see.
that odd?
Yeah.
Like all day, most people like will give the best of themselves to the people that they barely know or barely interact with.
Yes.
And then they come home at the end of all this persona that they've been putting on, trying to give the best of themselves to these people, and the people that they care about most, they get the worst of them. That's terrible.
They get the end of the rope is the problem. I think we get home and you're tired, or you've given your best to everybody, and now you're exhausted.
Yeah.
And
But
you're
those are the people that deserve the best of
the
you.
best. Yeah. And how do we flip that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or being
You have to
purposeful
make a
about
conscious
it.
effort.
Exactly. That's what I'm
acknowledge
saying.
that and work at
is
it.
intentional. It has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Fake, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me.
So I want you to tell us, so we have lived here, did you know, now for 1.5 years. And I want you to tell me about your experience here so far.
Well, like, the house is getting really good, and it's way hotter here than I thought it was going to be, and way colder here than I thought it was going to be. And it is, like, the cold, like, lasts way longer than I thought it was going to, and the heat in the summer lasts, like, way longer than I thought it was going to be.
When we moved here, like, what you were expecting, what's been the biggest thing that surprised you, like, that you weren't expecting when we moved here now?
Like how fast the house is coming along, that really surprised me. And how many animals we got in like the time that we got here, like how many animals we already have, and we've only been here for 1.5 years. Like that's really what surprised me a lot. We got rabbits, we got 2 pigs, plus like 5 babies, because my pig had babies.
So, what is it like living on the homestead?
Well, it's like, living here is like a dream.
What'd you think about when you first moved here?
Well, when I first moved here, I thought that this was going to be terrible. Like, when we first moved here, our house was not this. We didn't have the loft. We didn't have a lot of things. But when we first got here, I was like, this is going to be my nightmare. But now it turned into a wonderful dream. Well, when we lived back in our old house, I was dreaming of a house just like this. So I'm like, finally, my dream has come true.